Come spend the weekend with me. Let's do some vlogging. Not like that, oh my god. Come spend the weekend with me. Let's do a little vlogging. Oh yeah. That's the one. That's the one right there. That's the cut. So you guys, it's the weekend. I should really be focusing on driving. I really should. But guys, got plans today. Big plans, big plans. So I am going to my first Pilates class. I'm super excited. I'm nervous. Y'all ignore the shades. This is the introductory class, so I shouldn't be the only novice in there. It's an introductory class. So anyway, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I'm nervous. Y'all, because I gotta get this body together for my health, okay? Perimenopause has entered the chat, and I'm ready to cuss this bitch out. I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this. Why? So anyway, so that's the game plan. That's the start of this. So we're gonna start the day off with this Pilates class. I am hoping, y'all, I'm really hating this teeny weeny afro. When your hair is growing back after like cutting it all off, it is the most awkward phase of your life. I honestly need a haircut to like manage this, to, you know, make it a little neater. I think when you're in your 40s, you tell yourself like, I don't care, you know, I don't give a and you don't, to an extent, but then there's days you look in the mirror and you're like, bitch, what is wrong with you? Why do you look like this? And today is just one of them days. So I knew I wasn't gonna put on any makeup, but I was like, girl, you cannot go out here without eyebrows. You just cannot. So we did at least fill in the brows. So go to Pilates. I need to go get my nails done. Like I need to. Like I've been rocking this set for at least a month now. And you know when you've had some nails on, you've had acrylics on too long, and you start bumping into things and it hurts. Like you can feel like a little tear. Yeah. So hopefully I can get in somewhere today. It's Saturday, so y'all know how the nail shops are. So hopefully I can get in today and get them done. I'm going shorter. Like normally I go like medium length, but I need to go shorter because y'all, I hope I'm not aiming this like up my nose. So anyway, I need to go shorter because my job, they use these like old crappy ass keyboards, and my nails are just like getting caught on it, and you know, the clickety clacking ain't working with these nails. So I want to get them shorter. So yeah, so hopefully that's the game plan. Hopefully we can get back home and get some reading done. I do have a little haul. It's pretty small. I have some book mail. I already shared it on Instagram, but y'all my people for real over here, so let me share with y'all too. So all right, well, let me get back to focusing on driving before I like get in trouble and hurry up and get my tail here. I don't know if I'm gonna film here because y'all know how I feel about filming in public, and also this is like my first class, so I don't know, y'all gonna be seeing me looking busted and disgusted. So we'll see. All right, so check in with you guys in a bit. Bye. Yes, I Okay, thank you. For sure, set first window. Thank you. Thanks. So let's check in. I would go in the house and go ahead and start talking, but Bay is, I see the grill's out, which means he's probably got like TVs on and stuff. This is like crooked. That's better, but the steering wheel's in the way. Okay, so you guys went to the Pilates class. I asked if I could film, but then again, I also like asked if I could film. And the girl at the front desk was like, well, she didn't know, but we could ask. You know, nobody's ever done it before. So I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. First of all, this is an intro class. First of all, this is my first class. So I started thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want you all to see this. Maybe I don't want you all to see me go through this. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't do it. It didn't go horribly. I didn't do horribly, but yeah, there were moments that I probably definitely would have been extremely embarrassed. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I didn't film it. But it was kind of cool because it was only, so this was the introduction to Pilates class, right? To classical Pilates. Also nails. We'll get to those too. Okay, so there was only 3 of us there, which was nice. You know, I felt like it was gonna be, you know, I just assumed it was gonna be like a bunch of people in there, but no. Either there's just no interest for Pilates or everyone's already, you know, Pilates warriors. The class before the intro class was packed. It was full. So if I continue this journey, I don't know that I'll be able to film in there. It's such a small studio, which I'm not, you know, I ain't mad at it. It was 3 of us in there, and you know, like the black woman in me, the black conspiracy theorist, you know how we black people are. Like, there's some hidden meanings to everything, right? There's always a conspiracy. So there was only 3 of us in this class, right? All 3 women. And not only is it 3 women, but we're 3 women of color. Did y'all know this when y'all booked this class, when y'all scheduled us for this day? Which, I mean, I did pick the day. I picked that day. They picked that day. But I don't know. It's a big coincidence that the only people in there were women of color. But it was cool. And I felt like maybe if there had been more in that class. Because when they like texted me or emailed me to confirm, they were like, oh, you know, the class was full and they just wanted to make sure, you know, whether I was coming or not, because I guess they had people on a wait list or something. So I was like, yes, I'm coming. Which also then makes me think, did people not show up? Or is the intro class literally just for like 3 people? Because if that's the case, I think that's smart. I think that's great. You know, it really gave the instructor the ability to give us that one-on-one, you know, attention. And she was really cool too. She was really nice. You know, she was, you know, she mentioned that, hey, you know, she wanted to make sure she didn't offend anybody, because she does like hands-on correction. And she just wants to make sure everybody's comfortable with that. And I'm like, girl, go ahead, touch me. I don't care. Just make sure I'm doing it right. If you gotta move my hands, my legs, whatever you gotta do, boo, make sure I'm not out here looking stupid. It was a good class. It was a little intense only because I'm out of shape. Okay, I feel like maybe if I was in better shape, it would have been that intense. Because at one point, she was like, put your legs in tabletop. And y'all, my legs, I had them like this, right? But mind you, okay, look, we were coming out of a different move. So I put my legs in tabletop. And they was like my legs were shaking. I haven't even had coffee today. My legs was just like, oh. It was so, I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so, like, bitch, get it together. What is wrong with your body? Get it together. So it was fun. It was good. One of the girls in the class, she started like getting overheated and like, I think like she was getting a little like lightheaded or dizzy. Like she had to like stop and, you know, kind of at one point she was, you know, I don't know, down on all fours. I don't know, but she was like, oh, you know, the instructor was like, you know, just, you know, take your time, you know, if you need, you know, you might want to take your jacket off, which I'm also thinking like, girl, yeah, take your damn jacket off. Why are you wearing this jacket in here? And then the instructor was like, yeah, I'm going to turn on the fans. Girl, why haven't you telling me these fans ain't been on this whole time? Look, we are being introduced to this sport. Please have the fans on so we don't die. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I gotta check my schedule, gotta check my budget. But I do think it is something that I could see myself wanting to continue. You know, they try to give you that hard sell on the, hey, the unlimited is the best deal. No, ma'am. I bet it is. I bet in the long run it is. But the way this wallet is set up, I guarantee you, I cannot afford the unlimited classes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, nails. So I figured I didn't really sweat. I'm like, I ain't funky, so I don't stink. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead and go to the nail shop. And I got lucky. There was like no crowd there. But y'all know how y'all see that one nail tech that everybody like warned you about? Like don't go to that nail tech. Yo, why did I get stuck with that nail tech? Y'all, he nicked me twice. I'm not gonna say I hate my nails, but I'm not in love with them. I'm not in, this is like my first time getting this nail shape. I guess this is oval or square round. I think I said oval. I don't know. I don't really like them. I mean, I love the color. Baby, the color on this brown skin, on this melanin is chef's kiss. But I don't know if I'm really in love with the nail shape. But the length, the main reason that I went to, you know, the neighborhood, you know, nail shop is because I just need to get those other nails off. I needed something shorter so I could do at work without, you know, constantly like typing, you know, having typing errors. So game plan. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired. I ain't breaking no kind of sweat, but I think I'm mainly tired because I did exercise and I haven't had any coffee today. It's my first time having coffee, and it's, yeah. Game plan for the rest of the video. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get some reading in because I really need to finish this arc. I'm not gonna finish it in this video, but I need to make some progress. I need to make some progress on this arc that I'm reading. And then I need to show you guys what I you know, I gotta show y'all my little book haul, my book mail, show y'all what I'm working with. Y'all miss out on free coffee too. My little sister, my sister-in-law texted me saying she was coming over to my house. You know, everybody something. Said she was coming over to the house and that I want her to bring me some, she was gonna stop and get her some Starbucks. She asked me if I wanted anything from Starbucks. Girl, yes, I do. But guess what? I was at the nail shop. But y'all know how hard it is to get like free stuff out of y'all siblings, especially the younger ones. So it hurt me to have to decline. I don't anticipate that offer coming around again. I love you, Jordan. You probably don't watch my YouTube videos. So she a Leo, so you know how they are. Ooh, y'all, if y'all see my dirty dashboard, ew. I think it was tilted at first. Did y'all? Okay, I messed that up. All right, we're gonna scratch that. Hopefully y'all didn't see my dirty ass dashboard. I need to clean it. But if you did see it, no, you didn't. All right, let me get out of this hot ass car. are you? You're scared as hell, but you're excited when you think it's a stranger. I don't get it. Not good. Not the headmaster. Fucking again. His scream was heard for miles. How do you know his scream was heard for miles? How do you know his scream was heard for miles? Be objective. Be objective. Anyway, okay, so I am not going to go into depth about what I have read in this book because I fully intend to, my plan is to do like a arc reading vlog, so I'll go into more depth into this book. I am reading Blood and Betrayals by Alexis Ruin and Jeanette Rose. Bro, are those your draws? Are you throwing your...
That's a shirt.
Teenage boys. Anyway, I'm only 19% into this book. They are having a considerable amount of sex already. I'm about to start it. Not complaining. This isn't a full-on review. I'm just saying. It's an awful lot of sex going on. My son's in the room. Awful lot of sex going on in this book, and we're only 19% in. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, so that's where I am in this book. So, yeah, slow reading update, slow reading. Alright, so I am filming outside because Bay has whatever he's playing inside. I'm not trying to get a freaking copyright. So, we are going to do this unhaul out here, outside. It's a lovely day. Y'all know that my son and I went book shopping a couple weeks ago, right? And I just didn't get that satisfied feeling, you know, after shopping. And it's probably because I was sharing, you know, my gift card with him. So yeah, I just, you know, I mean, I found good books, don't get me wrong, but it was still just like, there was no high, there was no rush, there was nothing to come down from. I still had a little bit of money left on that gift card, so I was like, girl, go ahead and make you an online purchase. I picked up a few, you know, I mean, I spent the rest of that gift card. So, the first book that I have, this one was recommended by, someone on Instagram. They had a birthday and they were showing off their birthday haul, and I was like, girl, I literally saw that 2 days ago in Barnes and didn't get it. And she was like girl, you need to get it, it's good. The first one we have is Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sobrano. I was thinking that this is a young adult fantasy, but young adult fantasy, but I think this might just be straight up like adult romantasy. I don't know. I briefly was looking on Amazon and I saw somebody mention something about some spice, and I was like, That sounds like a grown-ass fantasy, which I'm not mad at. That's cool, you know. I just so that I go into this book knowing that, you know, these is grown folks, you know, smashing, not some little babies. All right, so let's y'all. First of all, I can't get over the cover. I mean, is that not the most freaking beautiful cover you've ever seen? I mean, just look at that black excellence on the cover. Author's black, characters are black. I'm black. I'm reading that. All right, here we go. It says a library with a deadly enchantment, a fey lord who wants in, and a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. In a land ruled by ruthless fae, Laura Alamayu's village is trapped in a forested prison. Laura knows that any escaped attempt is futile. Her scars are a testament to her past failures. But when her village is threatened, Laura makes a desperate deal with a Fey Lord. She will leave her home to catalog an enchanted library that hasn't been touched in 1,000 years. No Fey may enter the library, but there is a chance a human might be able to breach the cursed doors. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really, she's after one thing the Fey covet above all: magic of her own. As Laura navigates the hostile world outside, she's forced to rely on two Fey males to survive. Two very different, very dangerous, very attractive Fey males. When undeniable chemistry ignites, she's not just in danger of losing her life, but also her heart to the very creatures she can never trust. Ooh, that sounds, yes, this sounds like it's probably gonna be spicy. This is definitely giving love triangle. This sounds good. And apparently it is a part of a duology, and book 2 comes out in July. Let me show y'all this cover. Like, I mean, look at this cover. Now look at the cover for book 2. I'm just saying, Pokemon, gotta collect them all, you know, gotta catch them all. I don't know if you can see that, but just look at that. Yeah, I might have to get that even before I read this one. At least I know I will never run out of things to read, right? We're out here collecting things to keep us entertained. Okay, so the next box. All right, next up, like I said, this is a very small haul. So mind you that, like, when we went to Barnes, you know, a couple weeks ago, that was like part 1. This is like part 2, you know. Can't be balling out every time we bookshop, okay? So, you know, I'm out here with the birds and the bees and the bugs. Y'all already know, okay? Magnolia Parks wrecked me. She ruined my life in the most perfect way possible. So, I mean, I gotta continue the series, right? So, next up in the series is Daisy Hates. So, Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. It is a part of the Magnolia Parks universe. For those of you who don't know, the Magnolia Parks universe has our central main character, Magnolia Parks. And then we have Daisy Hates. So, these are our two main female characters. Half of the series is from Magnolia's perspective, and then the other half is from Daisy's perspective. And the way the books roll out, you get Magnolia's book, then you get Daisy's. Then you get Magnolia's book 2, and then you get Daisy's book 2, and so on and so forth. So I do believe that both characters are gonna have 3 books apiece. So, but yeah, so we got a little taste of Daisy in Magnolia's book, but not really in depth. So let's read what her book is all about. All 20-year-old Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life, but that's just not in the cards. Daisy Hates is a princess of London's most notorious family. Raised by her older brother Julian, a London gang lord, after their parents were murdered in front of them 12 years ago, Daisy has never lived beyond his watchful gaze. Julian's line of work means that Daisy's life is complicated. And things don't become any less complex when she falls hard for Christian hymns, the beautiful and emotionally unavailable boy she's been involved with for the past few months, who also happens to be one of the few men in London who doesn't answer to Julian. Christian's life is no walk in the park either. Being in love with Magnolia Parks, his best friend's girlfriend and all, he's happy enough to use Daisy to He's happy enough to use Daisy to disguise his true affections. That is, until she starts to infiltrate those too. So baby, he was out here using her as a beard and then had the audacity to fall in love with her. As Daisy and Christian's romance blossoms into something neither were anticipating, Daisy, Christian, and Julian each have to come to terms with the fact that in this life, everything comes at a price. As their relationships intersect and tangle, they all learn that sometimes life's most worthwhile pursuits can only be paid in blood. Okay, like this sounds good. This is definitely giving like mafia romance vibes. Whereas, you know, I don't know, Magnolia was, I know people talk about how Magnolia is like Gossip Girl, but this one sounds a little grittier, sounds a little darker. So I will definitely, I definitely can't wait to read this one and then kind of compare the vibes between Daisy's book and Magnolia's book. Because I love Magnolia's book. So we're going to see how it goes with Daisy. So next is like a classic. And y'all, I'm late. I am late to the party on this. But you know how they say, it's better late than never, right? The next book that I picked up is Parable of the Sower by Bro, I cannot even talk. Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. This book, I think has been raved about by everyone. This is a science fiction. This is, you know, by a prolific black woman author in the science fiction game. Okay, so I read Kindred by her and absolutely ate it up, and it's high time that I pick this one up too. Okay, all right, it says, when global climate change and economic crisis lead to social chaos in the early 2020s. Y'all, I think they said this book was like written in like the 80s or the 90s. So let's proceed. When global climate change and economic crisis lead to social chaos in the early 2020s, California becomes full of dangers, from pervasive water shortage to masses of vagabonds who will do anything to live to see another day. 15-year-old Lauren Alamina lives inside a gated community with her preacher father, family, and neighbors, sheltered from the surrounding anarchy. In a society where any vulnerability is a risk, she suffers from hyperempathy, a debilitating sensitivity to others' emotions. Precocious and clear-eyed, Lauren must make her voice heard in order to protect her loved ones from the imminent disasters her small community stubbornly ignores. But what begins as a fight for survival soon leads to something much more: the birth of a new faith and a startling vision of human destiny. And it says fiction, but I'm pretty sure this is science fiction. So maybe they couldn't afford to write print science on there. I heard that, you know, a lot of people talk about how startling this book is, and its parallels to our current situation, our current world. What is it? I think they even said like the first chapter literally had, what, it was dated Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Like, so this was written about our time. And apparently shit gets a little crazy, gets a little scary because of how much it you know, parallels, you know, kind of holds a mirror up to our current situation. So I am intrigued. I'm ready to be creeped out, made uncomfortable, you know. So this ought to be a good read, because like I said, Kindred was chef's kiss. All right, so this is one that I keep seeing like all over social media. This is Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. So this is giving, I don't know, Lifetime vibes, but I'm here for it. So let's run down the synopsis. 2 women, 2 eggs, 1 life-changing switch. Catherine finally has it all. She spent her entire life striving for perfection, obsessing over her spotless home, maintaining her pristine reputation, building her perfect family, and her hard work has now paid off. After 7 difficult years of trying and failing to conceive, Catherine gives birth to Rose, her IVF miracle child, and at last has what she's wanted most of all. But one thing isn't quite perfect. Rose's pale skin doesn't match Catherine's complexion, and an irritating doubt begins to grow in Catherine's mind. Tess never got the happy ending she wanted. She underwent IVF at the same clinic as Catherine, but after finally conceiving, Tess's daughter was stillborn. Oh, God. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Now, a year later, she's approaching rock bottom. Consumed by her grief and without hope for the future, Tess is divorced, broke, and stuck in a dead-end job beneath her skill set. But shortly before Rose's first birthday, Catherine and Tess get a call from the fertility clinic. Their eggs were switched. Baby, I'm suing. I am suing. Okay? As Catherine's carefully planned life begins to crumble around her, Tess finally sees the glimmer of hope she needed to get her life back on track. Motherhood has always been their dream, and neither woman is prepared to share that claim over Rose. It will take a tense custody battle to decide who deserves to be Rose's mother, and it will push them to the brink. With themes of racial identity, loss, and betrayal, Hold My Girl is an emotional novel that will leave you contemplating what makes a mother. Y'all, this book is going to eat me alive. This book is going to eat me alive. I already want a card just reading the synopsis. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I'm a mom. I cannot imagine raising a child, carrying a child in your body, and then have somebody tell you that's not your baby. I can't imagine trying for year after year after year to become a birth mother. Your body failing you. Your body failing you. And then finally, when you think that the stars have aligned and shined on you, only to give birth and realize that, you know, your baby will never experience its first breath out of your body. I can't imagine, y'all. Like, seriously. So this sounds heartbreaking. Like, I know this is like about an egg switch, but this almost reminds me of the movie with Halle Berry and, is it Jessica Lange, Losing Isaiah, which I know was kind of, it's different but similar in a way, because, you know, in that movie, Halle's character is, you know, she's addicted to drugs, and, you know, she has this child, and she loses her child because of, you know, her addiction. And then Jessica Lange's character ends up adopting, you know, Halle's baby. And then Halle gets her life together, and Halle wants her child back. And so there's this big battle over this baby, and yikes. So it kind of, you know, reminds me of that in that sense. So yeah, that's what I, you know, that's my online order from Barnes. Y'all, I need to be rich. I just want a wall full of books. Like, is that too much to ask? Like, I'm not asking for cars. I'm not asking for a mansion. I just want a wall of books. So when I'm like, oh, hey, I'm bored, I just go in there and just, like, you know, pop something, pluck something. I never want to run out. I never want to run out. Okay? Understand that. So the last book, and I already mentioned this one in the previous video, so, I mean, I debated even mentioning it, but I don't think I read the synopsis to y'all. So this one you already saw in my TBR video. This is the arc of King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. This is a thriller. Y'all know how I feel about him. Like I said, y'all already saw this book, but I don't think I ran down the synopsis. Y'all know his thrillers are so freaking, like, gritty and action-packed. So, alright, so it says, prepare to be scorched by the explosive return of New York Times best-selling winning author S.A. Cosby in the gripping, fiery, Godfather-inspired Southern crime thriller King of Ashes. When Roman Carruthers returns home after his father is put in the hospital, he learns his brother Dante is deeply in debt to ruthless criminals. His sister is obsessed with solving their mother's year-old disappearance, and his whole family is in the crosshairs of a merciless gang. This is a searing tale of family, vengeance, and dark legacies. King of Ashes crackles with danger and relentless power and explores what happens when family ties are tested by crime and betrayal. But this is a reckoning, and everything burns. Okay, that's like a short and sweet synopsis. There's a longer one on Goodreads, but I absolutely love it. And then I saw a picture on Instagram. So the narrator for his previous books, Adam Lazar White, is back to narrate this one. Y'all, he is definitely one of my favorite narrators. He just kills it with all the nuances, like the southern, swagger, slang. I don't know how you want to phrase it, but he definitely has killed every performance in all the other books. I'm gonna read the arc, but when the audiobook drops, I gotta listen to that too. Like, I have to, because I love it. Love it. All right, guys. Well, that is all that I have for you today. I thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And until the next one, friends, bye.